refuse.
You don't want to talk about this?
Sure, actually.
Okay.
Well,
So I actually went to the trouble of normally I have everything highlighted, but because this is a developing story, like you see, it was updated 37 minutes ago.
it's going to change
This has
every
changed.
hour or so.
This like the video wasn't here when I updated it. So or last time I read this. So there's going to be stuff in here that's new to me as well. But anyway, if you hadn't heard, a car blew up on the Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls today, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on the story itself so much as talking about the right-wing reaction to the story.
That's the part that's been the most, I wouldn't say interesting to me, but more alarming.
Yeah,
because it's predictable.
We have a couple of tweets, but like there's a lot of stuff. Like Fox News was reporting. I definitely subscribe to the podcast Decoding Fox News, because when the episode where they cover this stuff comes out, I'm sure she will go into detail with like how their coverage evolves. But like just from what I've seen, it's pretty gross. Anyway, so I have the video of the car. I'm not going to play it there, so I'm just going to do this. So up at the top of the screen, you see the car zoom. Like, that's crazy.
That's the type of jump that you see in movies.
Yeah. Well, that's how the witnesses described it. They were like, "Oh yeah, it was just like something you saw in the movies." And so one of the first items of reporting that I saw on this said that the car went through a first checkpoint and then crashed into the inspection booths, like the second checkpoint, basically, at a high speed, and that's when it exploded. There is no first and second checkpoint at that bridge. I have crossed that bridge myself. That, like, the street that it's on right there, that you see it driving off of, that's Main Street in New York. Like, that's literally Main Street. There's no checkpoint on there before the bridge. They didn't go through a first checkpoint. But because of that reporting, what people took that to mean was they got through a checkpoint on the Canadian side and then rammed into the American customs.
Oh God,
place.
The Canadians are attacking us, Rhino.
Well, so that's
the invasion has begun.
That's where some of the first reactions were people saying, "Oh, this is because of Biden's open border policy." So like now they're coming in from the north as well.
This is like how
but then when it came out that like, oh no, they were actually on the American side and didn't even get through the gates on the American side. So like they didn't even cross the border at all. Didn't even get to where the border would be crossed. Then suddenly they changed their tune, and they were still saying, like, because something happened at the border, something dramatic happened at the border, and
they're going to stick with that.
Open borders is a open borders is a right-wing buzzword. Yeah, they have now turned it into. Actually, no, it's probably changed again because now we know a little bit about who was driving the car, but it changed to. People that Biden allowed in the southern border as part of the caravans or whatever have now made their way north all the way through the country to do this at the northern border. Like I actually saw several tweets from people saying that, and I think there was one clip on Fox News where they said something along those lines. Now Fox immediately jumped on this. They said the car was full of explosives and that it was a terrorist attack. And they just went completely off the rails with it. And then it came out that like, oh no, it actually wasn't a terrorist attack. It was like an old couple who crossed the border regularly to go to the casinos in Niagara Falls, Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know what happened there, but like they've been living in Western New York for years.
Is the couple there? Are they alive still?
No.
I'd imagine not.
No, they are not. Anyway, let's actually read the thing because there might actually be some new information here that I don't know. The United States and Canadian governments went into high alert. 4 international bridges were closed and cross-border train travel came to a halt. Yeah, actually, so this marks this is a tweets first. I actually, because this happened so close to me, I actually have a correspondent out in the field. So let's cut to our live coverage of the situation at the Peace Bridge in Fort Erie.
Oh dear. You've got an animation for it and everything?
Shush. This is Vice Rhino reporting live from the Peace Bridge, and Yeah, that shit's closed.
Oh my god.
My favorite part of this is how my animation introducing it, the intro and outro for that, are longer than the clip itself.
That makes it so much better.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, that's actually outdated. It's not closed anymore. They opened it back up like an hour after I went out and did that.
My god. You are a wonderful human being for that.
I'm like, it happened so close to home. I had to do something.
To go out on your front lawn to point a camera at it.
Yeah, no, I can actually see the Peace Bridge from my yard. But yeah, no, I went out to the Central Avenue Bridge that goes over top of the QEW right before, and yeah, got a little clip of myself. Anyway, yeah, so 2 people died Wednesday in the crash after hitting the median at the Niagara Falls International Rainbow Bridge in New York as they sped toward Canada. Governor Kathy Hochul, is that how you say that? Hochul, something like that. Said that
looks like Hochul.
Yeah, said that investigators found no indications of terrorism. So there's no, they haven't ruled it out yet, but there's no indicator that says that this is terrorism.
So the thing with terrorism is you've got to be able to point to what type of political end they're trying to push for.
Yeah, terrorism doesn't work unless somebody claims responsibility and says, I did that because I want X.
Yeah, like unless we're gonna find some some VHS tape just sitting somewhere near the bridge where an old man is staring at the camera going, I did this because I lost everything at the casino, then it's not a terrorism until we get to that point.
Yeah, so she said there was a horrific incident, a crash, an explosion, loss of life, she said, but at this time, no known terrorist connection. So nobody has said, I claim responsibility for this, and it sounds like the police know who was in the car. They just haven't released it to the public yet. So the fact that they if they were posting something on social media about their political goals and what they wanted, and I wish someone would do this to make this point or whatever, that would be pretty big indication that was an act of terrorism. So the fact that they haven't said anything about that means it probably is not. Mayor of Niagara Falls said in an interview that his office has been inundated with calls and that he had found himself confronting conspiracy theories that were exploding online. Exploding. I see what they did there. Rumors spread about that a second car rental truck, a threat to Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City. I haven't heard that one. That's news to me. But yeah, this is they had the bomb squad there for a while because they found a suitcase that was unattended near the border after that. And they were like, ooh, is that maybe another bomb or something? And no, it wasn't. It was just a suitcase. Yeah, so they, out of an abundance of caution, they closed all 4 border crossings in Niagara. And that's where you got me at the Peace Bridge going like, yeah, that shit's closed.
Vice Rhino here on the scene.
Yeah, bringing you the nuanced takes that nobody else will share.
Jeez.
Okay, yeah, Ricky Wilson, 65-year-old tour guide, is the person that was the witness that described it. Sir Man McDude just subscribed to the channel on Twitch. Thank you, Sir Man McDude. Now go donate to charity if you haven't already. My forwards seem to be down again, but the link is in the description, and there should be a Stream Elements bot. Yeah, it's in the YouTube chat, and it's in the Stream Elements chat. So there we go. There's a tiny URL. That one does work. I don't know what's going on with Hover, that they can't get their shit together for it to work, but the link is also in the description on YouTube. So yeah. Ricky Wilson said it hit the concrete barrier and went up. It came down and hit an inspection booth, he added. I know it sounds crazy, but the car was in the air, not 3 or 4 feet in the air. It was like something you see in Hollywood. The fence it went over to get to the inspection booth was 8 feet tall, so it went over.
Yeah, that car car looked like it was zooming in the clip.
Mm-hmm. It's like freaking Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, that's not a thing that you. Hopefully, not as many sequels as Fast and the Furious.
Hopefully, yeah.
It's not a thing you want to see more than once.
So yeah. But anyway, yeah, no, that's it doesn't look like there's too much new information here. Oh, here's a... Oh, no, that's the same video we just saw. It's just higher quality. But,
A little orange juice in my chat goes, that card looked like a SpaceX rocket. Yeah, it certainly went airborne. Quite airborne.
Yep. And then exploded on a fiery ball of death.
I feel bad for the people who were in the car for obvious reasons.
Yeah, I hear let's see. It's supposedly like I heard somebody say it was a Bentley. I've heard other people say it was a Mercedes. I don't know what type of car that is. I can't tell from the video.
I'm not a car person, so I wouldn't be able to tell from any indicators.
I'm not a car person, but it used to be my job to like write down the make and model of various cars, so sometimes I can recognize some cars. I want to say that almost looks like Mercedes or Audi, I'm thinking.
Robbie says dem Duke boys are at it again. Hopefully with fewer Confederate flags.
Yeah. My point is, the way Fox News has covered this has been ridiculous. Like, and they actually, when they walked back their claim that the car was full of explosives, they made it out as though it was their sources that were walking things back and not them having jumped on their preferred narrative too quickly. So yeah, it was really interesting to see how this played out in the right wing and the Fox News crowd, and how they immediately just blame Biden for this, blame terrorism. We're going to look at a tweet where they actually say, oh, it's confirmed that it was Islamic terrorism. It's like, no.
Of course it would be.
No, it hasn't been. It's actually been confirmed that we pretty much are sure that it's not terrorism.
It's been confirmed that it's a couple of old people that had an unfortunate thing happen to them.
Yeah.
That's what's been confirmed.
Yeah, and Clueless Expert says, confirmed by some intern at Fox News. And by confirmed here, we mean they said it. Anyway, so that's all I'm going to say about that for now. We'll come back to that when we get to the actual tweets. So.
Hey, I just quickly want to give a thank you to all of my wonderful patrons who keep this show running. YouTube and Twitch are a pretty bumpy ride at the best of times, and the stability that Patreon provides me is worth more than I can say here. I'd also like to thank each and every one of my $20 and up patrons here, and they would be Britzkrieg, Cameron, Dren, Jemshin, Smiling DM, Poundini, Mabbity Babbity, Naomi, Isaac, Agamotto, Jordan, Ravi, Giuni, Kiratorian, Prisma, all of you, I'm not saying that part, and Starlight. And finally, thank you to everyone else that helps keep this channel alive. While you're here, why not check out another video? And thank you for watching.